Hey guys, Trans-Canadian Rocker here. This weekend I went out and about with my camera, but I limited myself to using just one lens. Now I won't tell you what I used until the end of the video, and I'll give you basically my takeaways from that experience. And before I forget, a couple of years ago I tried to get my channel off the ground, but unfortunately COVID and other things happened, life happened, and so it really put the brakes on my little project, but here I am, better late than never. I plan to continue doing likes and dislikes, or my impressions of gear. And when I do impressions or likes and dislikes of gear, I don't do it after 1 or 2 days of use. I do it after an extended period of time. And remember, if you've been lucky enough to be able to afford to buy camera gear, no matter what your choice is, anytime you can go out and take pictures is a good day. So I just want to remind you that a lot of the images that you're going to see may have potentially been cropped. So that might trick you into thinking I'm using a different lens. So today I thought I'd try something a little bit different from yesterday. Yesterday, of course, was a little bit more of a street photography vibe. Now I'm kind of go from a nature vibe, if you will. I'm on Aboot Island, which sits between Ottawa and Gatineau. Cities in two completely different provinces. Of course, Gatineau in Quebec, and Ottawa in Ontario. So I'm trying to get my nature twang on, and we'll see what I can find. So if you want to make friends with the geese and the ducks around here, all you have to do is feed them, and it won't be long before you can practically take a selfie with them. Not always a good idea to feed the ducks and geese, but people just can't seem to be able to help themselves. And the great sign, though, of seeing the geese is that maybe spring is finally on its way. So the lens I used finally was the Sigma 100 to 400 f5 to f6.3, and behind the lens the Nikon D7500, which means that essentially I was dumb enough to go and do street photography with a lens that ultimately gives me a focal length of 150 to 600. I think most of us have captured some of our favorite images during unexpected moments, and sometimes we've missed one thanks to the wrong lens we had at the time. So maybe doing some street photography with a lens suited better for wildlife wasn't very practical. But that was the whole idea behind what I did, which was to do basically the best with what you've got and have fun challenging myself. As time went along, I found myself adjusting my approach, looking further out for potential photo ops, whereas if I had a 35 or 50 mil, I'd be inclined to look in the immediate vicinity of my surroundings. Of course, I didn't even think of going into areas where I had to deal with limited space. A positive would be, while shooting with a smaller lens would make you less conspicuous, when people see you shooting with a telephoto and you're pointing it out in the distance, they don't care. And the people far away usually won't notice you're shooting in their direction in the first place. So for street photography, telephoto does have a place, if you don't mind carrying the extra weight. We also hear if you shoot with a prime that all you have to do is zoom with your feet, but sometimes, and this goes for street action as much as wildlife, sometimes you only have a second to capture a moment at a distance and your feet won't get to there fast enough. This is where this lens was actually fun to use. On the downside, while I was able to, get the shot, oftentimes I couldn't get the shot the way I wanted, which means that I couldn't get the close-ups I wanted, or maybe had less flexibility to change angles and perspectives. And of course, naturally, on day 2, this lens was of course much more at home, shooting in nature and what you'd expect with that type of lens. So there you are. I hope you enjoyed the video. I had fun doing it. I'll see you next time. Please like and subscribe, and I'll be back well before the next 2 years. See you soon. Thanks.